Welcome to another video. My name is Amsterdam Comic Geek, aka Michael Minnebo, and I'm a Dutch journalist and I write about comic books and about popular culture. And in my last video I showed you these free comics I just bought this weekend at a CIA Comics, which is a comic book store in Amsterdam. And we already talked at length about this Spider-Girl comic, so I won't talk about that anymore in this video. Although, check it out if you like Spider-Girl, because this is a great what-if story. But today I want to talk to you about this Incredible Hulk comic and this Avengers Forever comic. Let's start with the Incredible Hulk, because this is the marriage between Rick Jones and Marlowe. And it was originally published, it was Incredible Hulk 418. And now it's a True Believer, or Marvel's Greatest Creators #1, as it's called. Written by Peter David and art is by Gary Frank. The beautiful art is by Gary Frank. Now Peter David, of course, has written a lot of Incredible Hulk comics in his day, and I'm a fan of his run. I haven't read all of them yet, because I haven't collected all of them yet, but I've read most of them. And I think he's one of the greatest Incredible Hulk writers. And this is where the Hulk looks like this, because they always change the Hulk's appearance, right? Every once in a while he changes, and now he has the intelligence of Banner in the Hulk's body. So Rick Jones is going to marry Marlowe, but at his bachelor party somebody played a movie in which she was naked. It was something she did when she was 18. And Rick is kind of upset about it. So that's not a good start for your marriage day. Actually, Rick is kind of a pussy about it, but you know, what the hell. I really love the art by Gary Frank in this comic. It has a very clean style, it's very expressive. I'm not sure if I'm really fond of the way the Incredible Hulk looks and his haircut. I prefer the way he was drawn by Sal Buscema back in the day. That's my favorite Hulk. Also like Todd McFarlane's Hulk, the Grey Hulk, when he's working as Mr. Fix-It in Las Vegas. I thought it was great. But she dreams, and then Mephisto pops up and he says he wants to make a deal with her. The dirty mover will go away and all the problems will go away if she just gives her soul to him. And she thinks it's a dream, so what the heck, I'll go along with it. I like the way Mephisto is drawn in this, with the big overcoat and mysterious face. Although I immediately thought, oh, that's Marilyn Manson. Looks like Marilyn Manson to me. But so that's great. And later, of course, Mephisto pops up during the ceremony because he wants to claim her soul. And then there's this great panel I just want to show you guys. This is where Mephisto pops up to claim Marlowe's soul, and then the Hulk smashes Mephisto, which is great. This is a great panel. So this is a really fun comic, I think. Also, well, the Mephisto wanted her soul. It's a scheme to get the Incredible Hulk pissed off. It's all part of his master plan. So he takes a hit just to manipulate a Banner, so to speak. I won't go into many details, but like I said, I like the art, and this is one of the greatest panels ever, man. Look. Now I'm kind of fond of Mephisto, aka Lucifer, but then I'm more fond of him in the incarnation of Tom Ellis in the television series Lucifer, that's now on Netflix. I'm wondering, have you guys seen that? If you haven't, please check it out. It's based upon the way the devil is portrayed in the Sandman comics by Neil Gaiman. And that's great. Now there's another detail. Speaking of the Sandman comics and Neil Gaiman, here's a cameo of Death. The way she is portrayed in those comics. Of course, they were published by DC's Vertigo. So So I thought it was kind of fun. Peter David really puts a lot of humor in his comics, and he even makes sure he himself has got a part in this episode, because this must be Peter. I mean, I think it's Peter David, so that's fun too. He's the priest, and that's cool. Also, look at this. It always cracks me up when a superhero is wearing a tux and still is wearing his mask. So this was a fun read, and it's a promotion for the Epic collection, Incredible Hulk, as I said before. And there's a couple of bonus covers, because a lot of super villains show up at this marriage. They were all invited by the Impossible Man. So that's kind of the gimmick in this one. Let's look at this spread for a moment. I don't see Spidey anywhere, and I see Iron Man is here, but he doesn't play a part in the story, except proper actually. And look at this dress, Spider-Woman's dress. I don't know, those wedding issues, those Marvel wedding issues, can be a lot of fun though. I remember the issue in which Peter Parker and MJ got married, and he had this big nightmare where all the superhero villains also showed up and tried to get at Mary Jane. So this was a fun read, and of course a romantic read. And it was only $1, so that was great. Now, let's talk about Avengers Forever for a moment, for just a moment. It's also True Believers, and made by these wonderful artists and writers. It's a great cover. It's also about Rick Jones, so I don't know what's going on, but it's the story is kind of condensed, and it's a first-parter that will go on. So that sometimes sucks. You buy you buy it for $1, and then you basically have to buy the rest, to buy the trade paperback to get the rest of the story. But you know, it's only $1, and it's a great way to know whether or not you want to read the story. Let's look at the credits first. Of course, he wrote a lot of good stuff. Carlos Pacheco, I think the name is. Jesus Marino as inker. I think the art in this one is great. And I'm fond of Avengers comics. I just want to show you a couple of panels. And I don't want to spoil it too much. It's great, expressive art. And this is the history of Rick Jones with all the people in the Marvel Universe. And he's been a sidekick for forever. Of different people, actually. Which is kind of funny. So he's like, his profession is being, he's a professional sidekick, I suppose. And I always like the history pages like these. It's very hard to make a good history page. There's a lot of information on it and still make it visually attractive, I think. And I think they succeeded with this page. There's just a lot to look at. The Supreme Intelligence. They're gonna ask him for some help, because Rick has contracted some kind of illness and they don't know what it is. And I really like this panel. I wanted to show you this panel. Captain America talking to the Supreme Intelligence. So Carlos Pacheco. If I pronounce the names wrong, please let me know, because as a Dutch guy, it's sometimes hard to get all these names right. And I don't need to offend, I don't want to offend the artist, because this is great art. It's one of the reasons I want to make these videos, is just to celebrate these comics and show you guys what's out there and hear from you guys what's out there and what I should read. Because there's so much great stuff out there. Sometimes you miss something. And this looks interesting as well. These are trade paperbacks of Marvel Through the Ages, Decades it's called. and I haven't seen them in the shop yet, but apparently they collect issues and stories that were like very important in a certain decade, like the moment Peter Parker unmasked in front of the whole world in Civil War. And I think they also have some extra information in these, so I think that should be something I want to check out as being a Marvel fan. So that's cool. So anyway, I just wanted to show you a couple of panels from this book. I really enjoyed reading all three of them actually. I really had a great time reading these. And the great thing about old Marvel comics, they kind of make me feel young again, if you catch my drift. They remind me of, getting kind of nostalgic I suppose, but they remind me of my youth. Or my late teens, and maybe when I was still in college. So there's a nostalgic factor in play here, I suppose, but it's just also, these stories are very nice to read. Very well done. And like I said, I really like the Spider-Girl one, and I'm gonna reread a couple of issues of that. And I'm probably gonna check out Avengers Forever as well. Although, when it comes to these three, I thought Spider-Girl I had the most fun with, and then the Incredible Hulk, and as lastly Avengers Forever, but that's just because it was it's part one of a longer story, and then I really love the art, so I would recommend it to you guys. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you like the videos I make, and let me know what you think. Are you a true believer, and do you like the True Believer series? Is that something you look forward to when you go to the comic book shop, or not? Let me know, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on them. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next episode. Cheers.